Looks like Wendy might have just made a permanent dent on her ex's ego, as the former host's most recent stunt has turned Kevin into a laughingstock on the internet. And it's so hilarious, it's almost unbelievable. According to Kevin, Wendy has basically been his lifeline and only source of income since they signed the divorce papers. Williams, on the other hand, seems to be reveling in the fact that her ex has basically lost every last dime he had to his name.
Cocoa color right
The
there.
cocoa's pretty.
There's something about
That's
that.
nice. I'm always spray tanning, so
Pots
no
and
one knows.
pans, I'm not cooking anymore.
Well, somebody can cook for you in these.
Wendy Williams is widely known for her blunt honesty and sharp sense of humor, especially when it pertains to her personal life. Therefore, it's not unexpected that she finds it highly amusing now that she's no longer obligated to provide alimony to her former spouse Kevin Hunter. Love the shade Wendy Williams threw at her husband today. During Trendy at Wendy saw pots and pans and said, "Pots and pans. I'm not cooking anymore." Then she looked right into the camera, and if looks could kill, Kevin would be DOA. #Wendy Williams, #Wendy Williams Show. Following the judge's decision, Wendy has emerged victorious in her dispute against her ex-husband Kevin Hunter and is no longer required to make alimony payments to him. As a result, she has been seen out and about, looking noticeably better. Previously, Wendy has discussed her process of recovery from the ordeal and her plan to begin anew with a new podcast. However, it's unclear when the podcast will make its debut.
You know, I've got enough money to do something else. And what I've never done, podcasts.
Back in 2019, Wendy Williams filed for divorce from her spouse of 21 years, alleging both infidelity and cruelty. Following their separation, rumors circulated that Kevin Hunter had a child with his purported mistress, Sharina Hudson. Recent reports suggest that Sharina Hudson is considering ending her relationship with Kevin as he has been denied a motion to have his alimony payments reinstated. This development may be particularly amusing to Wendy. Hunter, the former husband of the talk show host, is said to be at risk of homelessness, and Hudson is purportedly weary of the financial instability within their relationship. Insiders close to the pair suggest that Sharina Hudson is anxious about how she will fare financially without Kevin's support, while some observers speculate that this may mark the start of the end for their long-standing relationship. Only time will tell what the future holds for them. As previously reported by Page 6, a New Jersey judge has denied Hunter's appeal for Wendy to resume paying him $250,000 per month in alimony. Hunter's argument centered on his claim that he had lost control over his finances since the alimony payments ceased. According to The Sun, a judge in New Jersey has determined that following the finalization of Wendy Williams and Kevin Hunter's divorce in January 2020, Wendy's financial guardian will no longer be required to make alimony payments to Hunter. As part of the divorce settlement, Hunter received a monthly allowance and a share of the profits from the sale of their former shared residence in Livingston, New Jersey. The judge dismissed Hunter's request for continued alimony payments following the cessation of these payments in February 2022, deeming it non-urgent, and ordered that the application be dismissed without prejudice. Additionally, the judge decreed that Wendy will not be responsible for Kevin's legal expenses. According to the host's former husband, the payments stopped coming in February 2022, reportedly after Wendy had been dealing with some severe health issues. "I have fallen behind on most of my bills. I currently live in a community that requires payments to homeowners associations, and I'm behind on that bill," according to his file as obtained by the U.S. Sun. The 50-year-old man claimed that his former spouse's decision to halt his alimony payments has had a substantial impact on his life. He also revealed that he has fallen behind on his credit card payments and car insurance as a result. If the homeowners association fees are not paid, foreclosure will soon follow, said Kevin in his pleas to the court about his and his baby mama's home. "My car insurance hasn't been paid as a result of not receiving monthly severance payments. I'm behind on credit card payments because I have no money since the severance payments were suspended," Kevin went on in his filing. "The fact that I am unable to sustain my life and pay my bills in order is extremely emergent to me," he wrote. Numerous supporters of Wendy Williams cheered upon learning of this legal triumph, suggesting that Kevin Hunter should seek employment instead of relying on his ex-spouse's earnings. Although this ruling is certainly a favorable development for Wendy's financial situation, Kevin may still choose to pursue the matter in mediation. This process would entail a neutral third party attempting to facilitate a prompt and equitable resolution between the former couple. According to the United States Sun, the judge in the case ordered binding arbitration or some other form of conflict resolution between Wendy and Kevin. This decision indicates that the judge held a different perspective on the matter as they ultimately ruled against Hunter's request. During a Hot Topic segment on her explosive daytime talk show, the 58-year-old explained her reluctance to talk about the breakup. Everybody has things in their life that they're not ready to share with the world, she said at the time. Efforts to launch a new podcast, which Wendy Williams had previously claimed would be more lucrative than her previous talk show, appear to have hit a roadblock. Insiders familiar with the situation claim that nearly all of Wendy's associates have turned their backs on her. According to a report by Radar Online, television executives who profited from her talk show are supposedly mocking her and disparaging her behind her back. Sources suggest that Wendy's former friends abandoned her after being subjected to several months of erratic behavior from the 58-year-old talk show host, which ultimately resulted in the cancellation of her show in June. Currently, her only companions are paid employees who are working tirelessly to help her remain sober, according to insiders. The saying goes, when you're happy, the world smiles with you, but when you're sad, you cry alone, and this appears to be precisely the case for Wendy. Despite the emotional turmoil she endured at the hands of her ex-spouse, it seems that the people who once cared for her are now turning a blind eye to her plight. Wendy has broken down in tears while discussing the abuse she experienced, and the lack of support from those around her is far from comforting. All the people who hung on to her when she was on top as a daytime diva had headed for the hills and don't even answer her phone calls anymore, snitched a source. Worse, industry insiders said Wendy's plans to mount a chat show comeback are being met with outward silence and private laughter by TV execs who believe her off-the-rails behavior, including multiple rehab stints, embarrassing public episodes, and unexcused absences, has made her toxic and unemployable. It has been recently revealed that Wendy Williams is a survivor of sexual assault and has struggled with substance abuse. Additionally, the former Dancing with the Stars contestant shared that when she opened up about having 2 miscarriages before the birth of her son in 2000, she received countless supportive phone calls from those wishing her well. You'd be surprised how many women opened up and said, "Oh my gosh, Wendy, that happened to me. I would get stopped in the streets. It really became very soothing for me to feel like my loss was able to help other people not feel embarrassed, not feel ugly or less than a woman." The Wendy Williams Show featured several A-listers as guest hosts throughout the season, as Williams was not able to host due to personal reasons. It was announced at the start of the previous year that she would not be returning to the show that bore her name. In 2018, former radio host Wendy Williams took a 3-week hiatus from The Wendy Williams Show due to her struggle with Graves' disease and hyperthyroidism. Her doctor recommended that she take 3 weeks of bed rest to help her body adjust to the new medication dosage. Now, after being on air for 13 years, The Wendy Williams Show was replaced by a new talk show hosted by Sherry Shepherd, which was decided by Deborah Mercury. During Williams' absence, Shepherd frequently served as a guest host. On the final episode of their daytime chat show, Shepherd acknowledged Williams' significant contribution to the television industry over the years. "Because there is nobody like Wendy Williams," Shepherd said. From her days on the radio to ruling daytime talk for 13 seasons, Wendy earned her title as the Queen of all media. If you think about it, Wendy Williams changed daytime talk with her unique take, her one-of-a-kind celebrity interviews, the signature Ask Wendy segments, and of course, y'all, her famous How You Doin'. Absolutely. And I want to say, Miss Wendy, you are an icon and you are loved by so many, so many. Despite facing several challenges, Wendy appears to be making an effort to move forward. During New York Fashion Week, she made a stylish comeback. The 58-year-old, who had been keeping a low profile since her talk show was canceled in 2022, attended the Daniels Leather event in style. In a video posted on Instagram, the media personality was seen exiting her car, presumably taken by paparazzi. Wendy was wearing a fashionable black bodysuit, a Gucci belt, and a New York hat. Her stunning outfit was topped off with a floor-length pink fluffy coat, which set fashion goals for New Yorkers. Dazzling at the Daniels Leather fashion show, Wendy, who sat at the front row, appeared to be in high spirits the entire time. In the caption of the post she made to Instagram after the event, she wrote, "Feeling fab." Her manager, William Shelby, could also be seen lurking in the picture. That's it. Thanks for watching the video. Goodbye.